Millions.
Shalom. Welcome back. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, praises, and honors to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and salutations to you, Akim, pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. Back one of the lessons. This is going to be a quick lesson. I'm going to play some of this video from you see this lady on the screen. It says, charge buddy that turned Club J. Roy, 7 shootings in my neighborhood until 1:30 a.m. She's talking about a big event that just happened recently in Chicago where multiple people shot. And you got Jake on here complaining about it. She want to charge the person, I guess, that set it up. And I'm going to let her play some of the rant. But basically, our people don't really want to address the root of the problem. First and foremost, it's all through the Spirit of the Lord. What's going on, all right? The curses that we're under, the situation that we're in, because we went off and we didn't follow the commandments. But and the only way to truly fix it would have to come back to our Lord, man, and do things that are written in the book. I'll put it like that. Which that answer, our people aren't going to take heed to, and they don't want anything to do with it. They would rather keep it the way it is, status quo. I can do what the hell I want to do. I can be out here having kids all over the place with different men and taking absolutely no responsibility. All right. That's one of the huge issues with our people, man. All right. No structure. The complete rejection of order and structure. But let me play this, then I'll grab some scriptures.
On non-violence and street intervention. I ain't never got none of that money. I'm just say that I want to preface what I'm about to say with that. Millions, multi-millions to organizations led by white people who don't know what the fuck they talking about. And then on top of that, they hire motherfuckers from the neighborhood who's supposed to be OGs and have some type of motherfucking street cred. Y'all throw them motherfucking yellow shirts on and them yellow vests on, and y'all are reactive and never proactive. I don't want to hear shit from none of these non-violent organizations, none of these street intervention organizations that show up.
What she's talking about, I've seen it here. You got these organizations that you see them out there walking, talking about non-violent, put down the guns, stop the crime. You know, all this after an event has happened, man. But really, the essence of it is you need to have these men in the homes and the houses with these children as they're growing up, showing what order, showing structure, right? Something that's that you're not going to find in the hood. Hey, right for the most part. Okay?
After a motherfucking mass shooting. Y'all show up after somebody done been shot or killed and shit like that. Trust me, I've been there because I had to go off on a motherfucker for showing up and see money got killed. I am so over the way these things happen in our communities, okay? In our neighborhoods, because these are not communities. Communities don't behave like this.
Right. And like I said, there ain't no community. There's no structure. All right. Let's grab some scriptures. Like I said, this is not gonna be quick. This is going to be quick. This is 1 Timothy chapter 5. I'm gonna go right to 13. It says, "Withal they learn to be idle, wandering from house to house, and not only idle but tattlers, and also busybodies, speaking things they ought not." And this is speaking about the woman. All right. Actually, let me read up a little bit. 1 Timothy 5:11. "But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against the anointed, they will marry, having damnation because they have cast off their first faith. And withal they learn to be idle, wandering from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers, also busybodies, speaking things which they ought not." And this is talking about widows. But in that time period, you are expected to be under a man's authority, man. All right, to have a structure within a household. But now you don't even have to take this to widows. You just have, I'm single. I can do bad by myself, right? I'm single and independent. I don't need no man. All right, and that's why you get the outcome, right, of that woman that was just ranting in that video, and you see it all over the place. All right, it starts there. No structure, no guidance, no man in the house. Woman is out of order. Everything is completely upside down, and that's why you're going to continue to get that, and that'll never change because you have to help. You have to hold people accountable for things to change, right? Uh, let's keep going. It says, verse 14. I will therefore that the younger woman marry, bear children, guide the house. So those are something that the Lord would like to happen, man. All right. You marry to a man, you have children, you guide the house. That's your main duty. Not to be in the streets, not hopping from man to man, not having children all over the place. All right. Not doing whatever the hell you want to do. You see? That's why you're going to continue to get those outcomes. I'm going to finish.
Communities don't have mass fucking shootings, okay? Because community is an action word. It's something that you do. It's not somewhere that you live. Again, they threw this big ass, some dude who's a school teacher, threw this big ass block party that spanned for blocks, okay? Several shootings. There were seven to be exact. 7 fucking shootings yesterday up until like 1:30 in the morning. Okay, somebody's child was killed, and the mother said that this baby wasn't even from the city. Again, parents know where your kids are. When you know your kid is going into a space.
And when she say parents, what does she talk? She's talking about single mothers, man. She's saying parents as though a lot of these people that's committing these crimes, that's doing these things, are coming from man, woman, full household, growing up with structure, and then going out and becoming lawless. All right, that's not how it works, man. All right, you can have some cases where it does happen like that, but in these cases, it's overwhelmingly single mother-led households, period. All right, that's just what it is. All right, but she's saying parents.
Space that they are not familiar with, that they do not frequent. Why would y'all let them go? Why would y'all let them go? My daughter is 15. I took my daughter and my little cousin to the Bud and to the Bellwood Fest yesterday, and I sat there. I don't give a fuck if you embarrassed. I'm staying here. Why? Because I know how shit happens when there is no control, and these parents ain't got no control over these kids. Let me tell y'all something.
Right, these single women don't got no control over these kids. All right, they don't got no control over these kids, and that's one thing they won't address because a woman don't like to be accountable, man. All right, they don't like to be accountable.
That amount of shooting is sickening. That everybody wants to be a fucking gangster. Everybody want to be some type of G, and they really ain't even built like that. They scary in the motherfucker. These kids scary as shit. Do you hear me? That's why they shoot from these cars and do all of this.
And that's the tone. You know, the black community, the culture is straight up trash, man. All right, the biggest, hardest so-called gangster. Hey, that's really the guy that all the chicks really want, man. All right, especially coming up in my day, that's who they was, they own. That guy, the biggest so-called gangster. So that's what this culture breeds, man. That's what's considered, a guy of value in black culture, man. All right, a dangerous gangster, man. You check out these guys in prison, and you see how many letters, money, things getting sent to them, because this is what the woman of our culture, they're into that, man. All right, they're into that.
But it's ignorant shit, because they not built like that. Okay, there were so many people that got shot last night, and this is exactly why I don't let my kids go places. This Club J. Roy shit been trending for weeks. I saw it. I saw parents dropping this shit in.
Let me go back to that scripture. This is 1 Timothy 5:14. I will therefore that the young woman marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. For some are already turned aside after Satan. Right? From there, Let's get this. 1 Corinthians 14:33. For the Most High, and these are scriptures I bring out that show order and structure, within, within a real community, man. All right? Within a real household. This is 1 Corinthians 14:33. For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints, man. And the saints are Israelites. The Israelites are you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And the Southern Kingdom, the so-called Negro-looking kingdom, we're the most out of order as far as structure and households will go within all the 12 tribes. All right? Let's keep going. It says, let your woman keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak. But in so-called black churches in the hood, guess who you got in there? Women preachers, women speakers, women that lead the church and congregation. And that shit is off any goddamn way. But it just shows you how far away from the actual scriptures our people are. All right? And they don't understand that the only way to find peace, or the only way to fix things, is you have to come back to the word. All right? You have to come back to the word. Everything is bizarre world within the so-called hood, man. All right? And our people glorify it and they love to have it so. But when you have tragedies happen, then they looking for what's the answer. And I'm gonna fast forward some of this towards the
parent
end.
group chats on Facebook to make sure they knew, hey, make sure y'all kids don't go to this. It's look like it's gonna, and y'all sons is trying to impress them girls. Space. Yesterday when I got to bill, you know, one of the only things that really keep me like in position and focus is the fact that there are kids that I know really come from the trenches, and they want to get out of that space. Yesterday when I got to Bellwood Fest, a lot of the young dudes that are from my area, they was at the Bellwood Fest. They didn't go to that shit. You know why? Because they knew what was going to happen. Why would you want to go somewhere where there is absolutely no control? You can't control what.
And they come up in a household full of no control, man. Right? A woman really can't discipline a young man once he gets to a certain age, because he's gonna be like, man, I'm bigger than moms. I don't gotta listen to that. I don't care what she's talking about. She can't physically restrain that kid, right? That young man. That's why our father needs to be in the household, man. And all the statistics, even Esau's statistics, prove that, man. All right.
What's going on? Them kids was high. They was drunk. Them kids was dancing on people's cars. Y'all daughters is out of fucking control, and y'all sons is trying to impress them girls. It's always going to be bad. Nothing good will ever come out of shit like that. I don't understand the thought process behind y'all just letting these kids go and roam fucking free. I got my.
And it's been decades of this, man. Like it's she's gonna keep reiterating that point on watching the kids, but there's no structure, right? There's no real community. There's no elders. There's no leaders, and it's all gonna come back in the kingdom. There's no hope for this right now, right? And she even said it. She said, "I don't see no good come out of this. It's just bad," right? Even she can understand that much. It's not going to change until you really, the Lord set up a new kingdom, all right, that's coming. But it starts with the people having understanding, coming back, repenting, doing what they need to do to be saved out of the future destruction, not only of certain places throughout the world, but most notably Mystery Babylon, good old America, spoken about in the scriptures. Did a video recently about Trump bringing in the troops in DC, and he said he's going to come to different places. All right, so hey, keep that in mind, that a lot of things are got the wheels in motion and things are brewing. All right, Jacob's trouble, it could be here sooner than you think. Right?
My daughter location, I got my son location, I got my other kids location. I'll be watching that shit. Hey, man, what you?
So she says she's tracking her kids. So she probably got multiple kids or multiple men. You know what I'm saying? And this is common, man. This is normal, right? But within the scriptures, that's abnormal, and that would force shame. That would be shame, looked down upon. But now it's normal, all right? And that's part of the problem, all right? So let's finish this off. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. Let your women be silenced in the churches, for they are not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in church. Now I bring this out because it's an assumption that what? That woman has what? A husband, right? That's the purpose. That's the point. That's why there's no structure. That's why there's no order. That's why kids are out of control. The woman, the young girls, the young man, because you don't have daddies in the household laying down the law, man. All right, setting things in order. Okay. So you're gonna continue to do this, and he's blaming the guys in the yellow vest. She's blaming the guy that set the block party up. You know. But at the end of the day, hey, there is no hope for this black culture here in America, man. The Lord's going to destroy that and bring our people back to the law, statutes, and commandments written in the Bible. All right? And the ones that aren't saved, guess what? They got to die first, man. So more and greater judgments are coming. That's just what it is. And that's the point. I want to give all glory, praises, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom the next time.